Vectors. In today's lesson, we will be looking at vectors and looking at what vectors are and answering some GCSE style vector questions. Now, you will already be familiar with vectors when looking at transformation of graphs. So you will have seen something like this, and that's a vector. Okay, you might say translate the shape by vector 5, 3. That means you would move it 5 right and 3 up. You might have seen something like this as well, -2, 7. Obviously, that means you would move it 2 left or 2 back, you could say, and 7 up, etc. Okay, so these are vectors that you've already seen. Now, a vector is a description of movement with size and direction. So again, you know that already. So vector tells you how to move something and which direction it's going in. Now, these are quite simple vector questions that I've just shown you above. It gets quite tricky at GCSE level, especially if you're aiming for the higher level grade or you're looking at higher level topics. So let's have a look at some examples. Now, the first few questions that I've taken are from a teacher called Mr. Mystery, who creates resources for teachers to use online. So I've picked some of his questions out because I think they are quite nice and simple and easy to start off with. Then we'll look at some GCSE style questions. Now, here's a diagram below. It's a parallelogram A, B, C, D. Write the following vectors in terms of P and Q. So we're looking at direction. So we've got to do number 1. We've got to do DA. So that's direction DA. How do you get from D to A? Well, it's telling you it's a parallelogram. So this is where you need to understand your prior knowledge of shapes. So what do we know about a parallelogram? Well, we know that the opposite sides of a parallelogram are the same. So if BC here is Q, that means D to A must also be Q. And if A to P, A to B is P, then D to C must also be P. It's the same direction, okay? You can't choose to go the other way. So D to A would just be Q. Okay, so opposite sides of a parallelogram are equal in length, yeah? So second one, we want to know the direction C to D. Okay, so C to D, well, I know D to C is P, but we're going the opposite direction. So if you opposite of something, it's negative, isn't it? So it's minus P. Okay, number 3 is D to B then. How am I getting from D to B? Well, we're looking at paths. So any path with a letter on we can use. And that's, that's the only ones that we're allowed to use when looking at vectors, unless we can work that path out. So if I'm going D to B, I can go D to A and then A to B. So I can do D to A plus A to B. Okay, well, D to A is Q plus A to B, which is P. And we can't add them together because they're totally different letters. So it's just Q add P. Now, let's have a look at the next question. Okay, we'll do A to C now. How do you get from A to C? Well, I can go A to B plus B to C. Now, you can go the other direction if you wish to do so. We'll do that as well, just to have a look. A to B is P and B to C. Oh, it's the opposite direction. So let's get rid of that. It's minus Q. Okay. I could go the other direction. So if I get a different color pen, A to C, I could go A to D plus D to C. Yeah, still end up in the same place. Well, A to D is minus Q plus P. And you can see, look at the answers, they're exactly the same, but they're just different, written in a different order. So it actually doesn't matter which way you're going for some of the questions, you will still end up with the right answer. Let's do the last one here. We've got C to A. Okay, so I'm going to choose to go C to B plus B to A. C to B is positive Q, but I'm going the opposite direction, minus P, and that is my final answer. Okay, rightio. Let's have a look at a few of the questions then, here to start off with. I'm going to write the answers for this one this way here. Right, you've got a shape here, and again, we've got to write the following vectors in terms of the letters. First one we're looking at is A to C. Okay, well, A to C is pretty simple and straightforward. We're going to go A to B plus B to C. Okay, right. Well, A to B is A plus and then B. And we've got our final answer there. Okay, next one. F to A. Okay, well, I can't go here because there's no letter there. So I can't go through that path. The only pathways I can go by is when we've got a letter. So F to A, I can only go F to C plus, oops, that's incorrect, plus C to B plus B to A. Well, F to C is 4A. And then I'm going the opposite direction, which is minus B, oh, and then minus A. Well, I can simplify this, can't I? 4A minus A is 3A minus B. Okay, and that is our answer. Okay, next one is F to D. So it's handy to write down the directions because it'll help you. I can go F to E plus E to D. F to E is B plus 3A. Nice and simple and straightforward. Okay, zoom out a little bit. Okay, so I can do the next one. Number 4, we are going to be looking at D to C. Okay, right, again, I can't go on that pathway because there's no letter there. So we've got to go around. So I can go D to E plus E to F plus F to C. D to E, opposite direction, minus 3A. Remember the minuses. Opposite direction again, minus B plus 4A. Again, we can simplify this. Well, minus 3A plus 4A is just A minus B. Okay, and last one, A to E. A to E, well, I'm going to have to go, write it down below, A to B plus B to C plus C to F plus F to E. Okay, the little arrows on the top just mean direction. A to B is A plus B to C, B, plus C to F opposite direction, which is minus 4A, and then plus B. Let's simplify. Well, minus 4A, add another A is minus 3A, and B plus B is plus 2B. And there we are. We have worked out our paths using directions. Okay, right. Let's have a look at another one here. Okay, question number 2. So this time round, number 1, we want to look at F to C. Okay, so we've got a hexagon here. So it's a regular hexagon. So what you need to know about a regular hexagon is that the sides will be the same. So for example, this side here is A. So all the sides that look like that would be A, that would be A, that would be A. They're all the same length. From B to C is B. So any line that's that direction would be B. So this one also, and this one also. Okay, all the others are in the opposite direction, so they're not. So we can use this fact now to work out F to C. Okay, so F to C is A add A, yeah. Now you could write that as F to O add O to C, because the O is a center. That's supposed to be O. A add A, which is 2A. Okay. Right, next one is D to A, this time round. Where's D? Now we're doing D to A, which is there. So I'm going to do D to O plus O to A. D to O opposite direction, minus B, which is minus 2B. Okay, number 3. E to B. Okay. E to B, okay, right, well, I can't go this direction because we don't know anything or any of the letters there, so we've got to go around. So E to B, I'm going to go E to F plus F to O plus O to A plus A to B. Well, E to F is minus B plus A. O to A is minus B plus A. Right, minus B is minus 2B plus 2A, and I can write it like that, or I can write 2A minus 2B. Up to you, which order you want to do it in. And number 4, we've got E to A. E to A again, I'm going to have to go around. So I'm going to go E to F plus F to O plus O to A. So E to F is minus B plus A minus B. So that's A minus 2B. And we've got the final one, which is F to D. Zoom out a little bit. I'll just write it here, in fact. F to D. Oh, that's not bad. It's F to O plus O to D. I can do that one easily. A plus B. And there we are. Lovely. Okay, let's have a look at some GCSE style exam questions then. Okay, that I've taken from some papers, and you can have a look to see what type of questions there are and how many marks questions are worth. Okay, so the first one here. The diagram shows a trapezium A, B, C, D. Now, it says B to C is 2 lots of A to D. Well, if A to D is Y, B to C is double that. So that's going to be 2Y. And then it tells you that A to B is X, and then A to D is Y, and they've already drawn that out for us. Now, find in terms of X and Y, A to C, and you can see that this question is worth 2 marks for each one. So A to C is quite simple. I'm going to show the examiner, I'm going to do A to B plus B to C. Okay, now these questions are taken from an GCSE paper, which have very similar questions to GCSE papers. I've just picked these out just to have a look at, so we can see what type of questions are in exam papers. The A to B is X plus 2Y, and we can't add that together, so we're going to leave it as it is. So mark each. D to C again, so I'm going to do, oops, get rid of that, don't want that. So it's D to C, so I'm going to go D to A plus A to B plus B to C. D to A is minus Y plus X plus 2Y. So X and 2Y minus Y is just that, so it's going to be X plus Y. Okay, so we've got 1 mark for that and 1 mark for that. Now, this question says the point E is such that A to E is X plus Y. Okay. Use your answer to part A, the first part, to explain why AECD is a parallelogram. Okay, AECD. Right, so it's saying the point E is such that the direction A to E is X plus Y. So slightly tricky question. You can see we've got A here. If I go here, I'm going to have X. And actually, if I stop here and I put E here, watch what happens. What's halfway? That's the whole length is 2Y. So that is Y, and we can say that's Y. Okay, so I know that's that. And then it's asking me to prove that AECD, so A to E, C to D here, that is a parallelogram. Okay, well, we know that A to E and C to D must be the same, and I know that E to C is Y and A to D is Y. Okay, so opposite sides are the same, aren't they? So we've got A to E and D to C, and then okay, and we can say opposite sides of a parallelogram. Okay, and there we are. Okay, lovely. And we can work out what what A to E is if you want, and you can show that that's parallel to D to C as well, if that helps. Let's have a look at another question. This time, we've got this question here, so it can get slightly tricky. So we have got a question here, and it's not actually told us how many marks this question is. It's worth 3 marks if I have a look at above the whole question. So here we've got a shape P, Q, R, S, and P, S, T, U, which are both parallelograms. PU is A, they've already written that for us, PS is B, and P to Q is C. So they're all given to us. Find in terms of A, B, C, T to Q. Okay, well, if they're parallelogram, the first thing is the opposite sides are the same. I'm just going to zoom in if I can. Okay, so that there is also going to be B, and remember, same direction. So T to Q, I'm going to go T to U plus P to Q. T to Q is minus B, and then, I've forgotten one step, haven't I? This is why important why you have to write down the directions. I'm going to go T to U plus U to P plus P to Q. So I missed that middle bit out, didn't I? So minus B, opposite direction, minus A plus C. Oh, and that's it. I can't really add these together because all the letters are different. So I'm going to leave it as that, and I'm going to write that down. Minus B minus A plus C. You can rearrange the letters if you wish to do so in alphabetical order, or you can leave them as they are. Now this says here P to X. Well, I don't have an X here yet. It says where X is the midpoint of T to Q. Okay, so there is T to Q isn't a straight line. So what I'm going to do is, in a different color pen, I'm going to kind of join T to Q up, and I'm going to halfway up my X there. Okay, so I have to work out P to X, where X is the midpoint of TQ. Simplify your answer as much as we can. Okay, so P to X, that's what we want, don't we? Where is P? Let's have a look. There we are. Okay, that's P to X. So I want to get from P to X. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go P to U, because it's got letter there, and then I can go plus U to T, and then I want to go to T to X. Okay. Well, if I zoom out a little bit here, you can see the questions get slightly tricky, can't you? So P to U I already know is as A, U to T is B. Now, that's supposed to be a plus. I actually don't know what T to X is, but what I do know is that T to X is halfway of T to Q, isn't it? Because X is the midpoint. So I'm going to write a half of T to Q. Okay, now notice the examiner made us work out T to Q at the first question. So obviously we're going to be needing that. So I've got A plus B plus a half of, well, what was T to Q? Was minus B minus A plus C. Okay, I'm just going to write that down here. So I'm going to expand the bracket. Let's zoom back in. Okay, so I've got A plus B. Right, a half times minus B, I'm going to do is minus B over 2 minus A over 2 plus C over 2. Now I can add all this together at some point, but I'm just going to put them under a common denominator. I'm going to put both of these under 2. So at the moment the denominator is 1, so I'm going to times it by top and bottom by 2. So 2A over 2 plus 2B over 2 minus B over 2 minus A over 2 plus C over 2. Okay, so let's simplify this now. So 2A over 2 minus A over 2 is just A over 2. 2B over 2 minus B over 2 is just plus B over 2 plus C over 2. I can leave my answer as that, or I can just take a half out and write A plus B plus C. Oops. Okay, and there we are. All right, that is my answer to the question. Okay, let's have a look at another question then. Get slightly tricky, this one here. It's 2 and 2, which is 4 marks. Let's have a look at how to answer this question. So we've got a triangle OPQ. O to P is 6A and O to Q is 6B. So that's given to us. It tells you that X is the midpoint of P to Q. And then it says find in terms of A and B the vector O to X. Give your answer in its simplest form. Right, okay, so first of all, it's telling us X is the midpoint of P to Q. So let's work out P to Q first. Okay, I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. Right, P to Q for me, I'm going to go P to O plus O to Q. Right, P to O, opposite direction, is minus 6A plus 6B. Okay. What I'm going to do is P to Q, because I've gone that way, I'm just going to write minus 6A plus 6B. Okay. Now, I want to know O to X. Okay, so what I'm going to do for O to X is, I'm going to write that just in a different colour pen. I'm going to go O to Q. Or I could go the other way actually as well. Let's go the other way. Let's go O to P plus P to X. Okay, I know O to P is 6A. Well, I know P to Q is minus 6A plus 6B, and P to X is halfway because X is the midpoint. So I just need to half this here. So I'm just going to get rid of the plus here. And I'm going to have minus 3A plus 3B. And I can simplify that to get 3A plus 3B. Okay, so quite a few steps there involved. Now the next one says, y is the point on O to X such that O to Y to X is 2 to 1. Okay, find in terms of A and B the vector Q to Y. Okay, give your answer in its simplest form. So the first thing here, which might throw you off, is it says that y is the point on O to X such that O to Y to X is 2 to 1. Well, first of all, let's have a look at that. If your line split into 2 to 1, that means it's 3 parts, isn't it? So that this part here is 2/3, and that part there is 1/3. Okay, and we'll be needing that because look, we've worked out O to X to start off with. Now we want to get to Q to Y. Okay, now it's up to you. You can go into any direction you want. I can go Q to O and that way, or I can go this other way, that way there. It's entirely up to you. Okay, I think that I'm going to go, well, you can go both ways and you can get the same answer. So I'm going to change my colour pen. I'm going to write Q to Y, and we'll go this way first. Q to O plus O to Y. Okay, well, Q to O is minus 6B. Right, O to Y. Now the full length of my line is O to X, isn't it? So that's 2/3 of the full line. So that's 2/3 of the full line, which is O to X, yeah? So O to Y is 2/3 of my full line, which is O to X. So I've got minus 6B there, plus 2/3 of O to X. And I've worked out what O to X is. O to X is 3A plus 3B. I'm just going to take that there. Okay, so I've got minus 6B. Now I'm going to multiply this out. Remember when you've got a fraction and you're multiplying the whole number by a fraction, you just times the numerator by it. So I'm going to have 6A over 3. And I'm going to have plus 6B over 3. So I've got minus 6B. I can simplify that. Well, 6 divided by 3 is 2. A plus 2B. I'm going to simplify this. I've got 2A. Well, 2B minus 6B is minus 4B. And there you are. That is my answer. I'm just going to get a different colour pen. Let's see, should we do it in black? I'm going to go the other way so you can see that it works exactly the same way. So we went Q to Y. That's what we want, don't we? Q to Y. This time I'm going to go Q to X plus X to Y. Okay, well, Q to X is half of the full length. Well, if I just half this here, it's minus 3A plus 3B. That's to going in this direction. I'm going the opposite direction, so I'm going to change my sign. 3A minus 3B for Q to X. Oh, and then X to Y is 1/3 of the line X to O. Now, we've changed direction. Okay, it's 1/3 of this direction. Okay, so the full line there is X to O. So I've still got 3A minus 3B plus 1/3 of X to O. Well, I need to work out what X to O is, because I know what O to X is. Well, it's the opposite of that, isn't it? Because it's the opposite direction. So O to X is 3A plus 3B. That's going to be minus 3A minus 3B. Okay, so let's simplify that out. 3A minus 3B. Okay, here I've got minus 3A over 3 minus 3B over 3. 3a minus 3b. Well, minus 3 divided by minus 3 is just minus 1. So minus 1a and minus 1b. Okay, well, let's quickly just sort this out. 3a minus a is 2a, minus 3b minus another b is minus 4b. And you can see we've ended up with exactly the same answer. So these are some style of questions from GCSE papers that I've picked out that you get. This last question here that we've done is quite a popular question where you're using fractions and there's ratio involved in there. And you can see in this particular question, it's worth 2 marks. Sometimes it's worth even 4 marks in a GCSE question. Again, it depends on the exam paper, what board you're doing, and obviously what's required. So these questions, like I said, were taken from an IGCSE paper. If you ever look at different exam board papers or the papers that you're doing in class, they might be worth a bit more. But these were the most popular type of vector questions that you will be asked to answer in your GCSEs. I hope that was useful for you. Thank you for watching.